Hi everybody. Um, this video is gonna be both a rant about how I'm struggling with my life and also just like if you're struggling in life, here are some things that you gotta do to help yourself to struggle less in life. But first, let's detail the issues of my life and hopefully I can use that as an example as a board to um, to talk about things you got to do to improve your situation. So what's been going on with me? Wah, 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 wah. I'm mostly not feeling many emotions. I don't. I haven't really felt care for anybody or anything. I've not enjoyed doing anything. Um, I've found pleasure in my usual antics of video games and YouTube, but spending time out of the house, seeing people, uh, I've just I've not really enjoyed it lately. I've just not enjoyed living life. It brings no pleasure whatsoever. And this is called anhedonia, which is the general lack of feeling pleasure for anything. Um, and that's been a real thorn in my side. I felt I've been feeling lots of anxiety when it comes to my gut pain, even though the gut pain is usually mild and isn't much of a threat. It just, I have trauma with it that I just haven't fully worked through. Just because last summer and fall was just so bad. And I have visceral memories of how horrible it was. And I'm scared. I'm scared to death about it. And it's been quite crippling. Um, I was really excited to see the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and I did see it, but the bus ride to the movie theaters, I just had overwhelming anxiety. And even during watching the movie, the anxiety just didn't dissipate. Um, I had to nonchalantly just um, pull off my socks using like my feet because I felt more comfortable um, uh, not wearing socks. And so that kind of helped with my anxiety. Um, and yeah, the movie was great. The movie was great, but I had extreme anxiety, and I was so ready to just go home at any point, uh, to just call a cab. Um, but I sat through it and I enjoyed it, and that was great. Um, yeah, I just haven't really cared about anything or anyone, and without emotions, without care, without desire, then there is no change. There is no action. Human uh, actions, human motivation always stems from emotion. There's some emotional tie to it, whether anger or pleasure or um, anger, sadness, whatever, um, you have some sort of desire for some goal. Um, and I think that's one thing I just have to accept with myself is that desire is fleeting. I have to accept that no matter how hard I try to invent some meaning, some grand desire to keep myself motivated through the thick and thin, I don't think I'm ever going to sustain a purpose, a reason to live, a reason why. Yeah. I've just. I've never had it. I've had it, but it's always been fleeting. Um, yeah. And it's just like, with me, my I have like out of the blue chemical changes. Like I feel like there was like a time like a few weeks ago where I felt the chemical changes were just like in the middle of the day I just started to feel very tired, and I felt it like chemically in my brain, and then from then on just been tired all day every day ever since that point. And there wasn't a rhyme or reason for it. It just happened without an apparent cause. So what I'm basically saying is I suck at living life. I am just I don't I don't know how to sustain living a life, having a life. Um, I'm always at risk of slipping back into my addictions. I took a phone call with one of my friends that lives far away. It took calling them to kind of wake me up from my slumber of, oh shit, things are really miserable in my life and I really got to change things, cuz they've been struggling quite a bit similar to me, and now they have a a partner, and now they've been uh, having a digital detox away from social media, and they've been living their best life. And I, on a mental level, I'm happy because that's what I've always wanted. Like, even though I'm agnostic with atheistic leanings, I've prayed for them, prayed to whatever deity to help them, and she's she's doing great. But there was there is the emotional side of me that is saddened that she's moved on and that she's doing great. Because then I just feel like I'm being left behind. Like, what the fuck am I doing with myself? Jerking off and doing jack shit. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to be a different person again. I like to be a great person that isn't always whining and isn't always complaining about how tough it is. Because, like, I know my life is incredibly easy. It's too freaking easy. Um, but just have so many internal things like my dyspraxia, which means that I get exhausted way more easy than the general population. Um, so I just have things like that that I feel like are holding me back. But I've been in places where I've thrived. I've worked hard and I looked good and I felt great and I was doing all sorts of things. I was dancing and volunteering and I want to be that person again. And so I've reached out to counseling again. And I guess this is where I transition more into how do you get yourself unstuck? Well, I think everyone that is struggling needs a good therapist, a good counselor, um, a good support worker to just stabilize them, set them on the right path, reorient their brain, your brain. Just you just need someone to talk to and someone to listen and someone to just help guide you. And that's something I've realized is that the moments in my life where I've been the most stable is when I've had counseling like every other week, every at least once a month had a counseling session. Those were the moments where I thrived the most, and the moments where I've struggled the most is when I've isolated myself, stopped going to counseling. Yeah. So that's one of the major things that you need if you want to get yourself on the right path. Admit that you need help. Really admit it. Because lately I know I have like all of the answers inside of me that there's not much a therapist could tell me that would surprise me or like I've read the books. I've gone to the counseling sessions. I know the advice, but it's still helpful even when I know the information. It's still helpful. But that's part of the reason why I've just not been interested in going to counseling is just cuz like I don't need it. I can figure it out myself. I have the knowledge. Sometimes you just need a reminder. I need a reminder. So that's one thing. You need counseling. Another thing is you need to look after your body. Um get sun, get exercise, get sleep, get nutrition. I gotta say, out of all those things, nutrition is the most important thing. Is eat right to feel right. Because just think about what you put in your body. The food that you're eating is gonna literally become a part of you. You're gonna manifest the energy inside that food. And the energy could be from a metaphysical perspective, but there's also concrete, biological, chemical component. Like when I say energy, what I'm really referring to is the chemical components that make up the food as a whole. Is you're gonna fully embody that substance, that food that you're eating. And so if you eat crap, you're going to feel like crap. If you eat good, you're going to feel good. So get nutrition under wraps. They I can't explain how important it is. It's priceless to have more energy and to feel great, to look great. All because you're investing in yourself when you eat good, when you eat healthy foods. Um, my general advice is to eat lots of greens. Greens are the best things for you. They contain numerous minerals and vitamins that are necessary for you. Like, for example, calcium. They tend to be high in calcium. You don't even need dairy to get calcium. Just eat greens, especially broccoli. Broccoli is such a superfood. Um, and just eat less processed. Like, cut out sugar. Sugar is just going to weigh you down. Um, and if something has um, like cut out foods where the ingredients like you can't even really pronounce it or you don't know what it is, then you probably don't need it. It's probably not healthy for you. Um, and oftentimes, like if like okay, so let's say you add like deox, like I don't know, like riboflavin, like that's one of the ingredients. Well, riboflavin in its natural state often comes with other chemicals that are synergistic with it in nature. And if you just get it by itself, then it's going to be less effective. That's one of the things I've read in the books where in nature, nothing exists in isolation. Things are connected. And that's wholly true to the chemicals you put in your body. Um, so nutrition, yes. Exercise. Don't overwhelm yourself with exercise. Like, don't like try to lift the heaviest weight that you can. Just do something sustainable that you feel like you can do every single day, or like at least like 3 times a week. Like, if you can just do something small, like if you're struggling to exercise, just do something as simple as five five push-ups every day. That's what I've been doing. Just 5 push-ups every day. If you can do that every day, that's great. And once it becomes too easy, then you can step it up a little bit and make it a bit more challenging, but still manageable. Just do things like that. And then there's the component of sleep. Exercise will help with sleep. Um, a worn out body will be so primed to just rest and shut your eyes. And sleep, when you sleep, you are literally removing the toxins from your brain. Because this is what happens when you sleep. Um, your brain, uh, your brain tissue relaxes, and then what's called cerebral spinal fluid flows through your brain and removes toxins like I think they're called amyloplasts. Um, yeah, the things that will cause Alzheimer's. Um, when it builds up in the brain, that stuff gets removed when you sleep, and it helps you think clearly. It helps you feel better because the toxins are removed from your brain, and that's why we sleep is to remove the toxins because our brains are highly energetic and they create lots of waste. And when you sleep, you remove that waste. It's as simple as that. Like, the process is probably a lot more complex, but essentially it's that simple as that. Um, and yeah, I think one of the most essential things in your life is to get a social life. Humans didn't evolve to exist in isolation. We evolved to cooperate with each other. That's why we like gossiping is such a major part of humanity. Like, we are born to gossip and to compare ourselves and to judge others, and um, we are biologically hardwired to be social beings, and so find a social life. Like, join clubs, look at events that are nearby. Like, Facebook has lots of events where I live, or there's apps called Eventbrite, and just try to pay attention to those events and just be a part of them, um, or look for programs you can be a part of. Um, a lot of times there's seasonal programs that you can join for like a couple of weeks or a couple months, and it's just it feels rewarding to uh, be around people and to prove yourself to people. And yeah, these are just things you just got to do to live a happy, meaningful life. And some people say that you need to have meaning. Like, you need to ask, why do you do this? You need to look at your values and think, like, why do you do this shit? Why do you get up every day? What's the reason? And I don't have a good reason. In high school, which high school was 2018 for me, um, I was a self-proclaimed existential nihilist. Like, there is no purpose for us. There is no meaning. That's why this channel was called Meaningless for a bit, because I've been a nihilist. Um, there's no reason for us to do anything when everything just disappears in the infinite sands of time. But if you can find something that's meaningful to you, like music or family or something, that's great. I wish I could have that. You don't know how lucky you are to have something meaningful to work towards, something that feels meaningful. I wish I had that. But yeah, anyways, um these are the things that you just got to do to live a healthy life. Like, I feel better when I eat right and I'm going out and being social. And oh, there's a fly. There's a fly. Kill the fly. Ah. Okay, the fly's alive. That's gonna be a problem. That fly's gonna buzz in my ear because I think it's like a mosquito or whatever. Um, I got a new problem to think about after this video. Um, yeah, but like, this is something I'm gonna do. Like, I'm notorious to I've been notorious since high school of making these green healthy smoothies, and so I did that today. I went out to get avocado to congel everything together. um, because you really like. I need avocado with the way I make smoothies just to, hold everything together and not make it just like sloppy. Make it into an actual smoothie. And I can't have dairy, so I can't really do like yogurt or that stuff. Milk. Um, and I'm going to therapy tomorrow. Um, and I'm gonna try to talk to her about how I can start enjoying being in social situations again. Because I used to really love that. But I just feel such a sense of relief being at home. Being at home is so nice. And it's just stressful being out of the house. It's not always been like this. Like last year it was completely different. I I thrived being out of the house. But shit happens. And so yeah, I'm planning to take this advice that I'm giving you, and maybe it'll be effective this time and I can start thriving again. We'll see. So yeah. See you guys.